Wow, look at this. An iron pancake. Too bad it's got a hole in it. All the syrup will drip through. No, a gold record. Oh, it sure does bring back a golden memory. The letter girls were sitting around one day, talking about a problem. Ms. E had written a smash hit song celebrating the fact that the letter boys had learned to blend their sounds together. The song was called The Squash, and the letter girls wanted a song written about their sounds, too. Well, that tune won this gold record, a real feather in Ms. E's barbells. And it was exercising Ms. E who came up with another stroke of genius, Silent E. The letter people found out how to use the badge of cooperation that same day, too. But it was Ms. E who solved a real stumper. How would people know when a vowel will make her long sound? Cooperation and Silent E, two of the very good stories in letter people history. But it was during the case of Poopsie's Big Surprise that the letter girls discovered still another great way to use their long sounds in words. I remember that it was Ms. O who found a way to make sense of the word B-O-A-T. Without her, we might have sprung a leak. Luckily, that case had a happy ending, and the letter girls found another way to use their long vowel sounds in words.
Think I'll check in on one of my favorite nighttime displays. Yes, it looks like everything's okay. People who have trouble getting to sleep should visit Yawning Mr. Y's display. I remember when Mr. Y first arrived in Letter People Land. No one could believe how Mr. Y could fall asleep at the drop of a hat. Looks like the janitor forgot to take out the trash. I'll have to speak to someone about that. Oh, no, wait, that's not junk. It's Mr. J's display. A beautiful collection of, junk. Mr. J's sound is the same sound that starts jumbled junk. Besides running a first-rate junkyard, Mr. J is quite a song and dance man. Now here's a pretty snappy display. Enough rubber bands for all the ponytails in the city of Indianapolis. Mr. R's display reminds me of the worst music I ever heard. Electric tuba, rubber bands, and typewriter. At least Mr. R had a good time ripping his rubber bands. He thought it was out of this world. Mr. R thought a lot of things were out of this world. I guess that's why he was chosen to go out of this world and to travel to the planet Snickers after Ms. A had been kidnapped by Empress Mung. It was during that caper that the letter people learned how to use this. No, it's not a two-car garage. It's the divided catching clue box. It's a good thing Mr. R found Lucky Star on his trip. Lucky not only helped Mr. R hear his name, R, in words, but he also guided the rockets. Yes, the OR sound made Empress Mung happy. It made her very happy. Not happy enough to let Mr. R go home, though. Ms. O managed to escape with Lucky Star, but poor Mr. R was left behind, still held prisoner by Empress Mung. It was about that time that Ms. E, Ms. I, and Ms. U walked into a restaurant in Letter People Land and disappeared. They didn't know it then, but the restaurant was actually one of Mung's spaceships. They, too, were on their way to Snickers. Empress Mung wanted even more sounds. The new sound made Empress Mung happy, but not that happy. She figured that 3 kidnappings for just one new sound was a bad deal. So she sent them all back to Letter People Land. Mr. R was finally going to get to go home. As a lovely parting gift, Empress Mung gave the divided catching clue box to the citizens of Letter People Land. And that's how it got here. The divided catching clue box. One of the best displays in the Letter People Hall of Fame. Looks like something is wrong over there. I'd better check. Oh, no. It's Mr. X's display. I remember when he first arrived here in Let People Land. It was one of my strangest cases. And talk about not having a sound. No one could get a word out of Mr. Q. At least not until Ms. U agreed to always stand next to Mr. Q so that together they would make the same sound that starts quiet. Sure is quiet in here. I like quiet sometimes. In fact, it's one of the best things in the whole world.
World?
World.
Hi-yo, Silver! Away!
A runaway word. There's nothing like a runaway word for getting rid of quiet. I remember the time Ms. O visited Professor Foghorn and his word machine. Ms. O found out that some words don't follow the rules. The letters in those words don't sound off as they should. I guess people have to learn those words one at a time. And there sure are a lot of them. But they really are good runners. The runaway football team is undefeated. Look, someone left their lunch. No. It's a display. A pile of chewy cherries put here in the Hall of Fame to commemorate the new special sound that Mr. C and Mr. H make in words. There's the thing. Mr. T and Mr. H can team up to make two different sounds. The sound that starts the and the sound that starts thing. The sound that starts the rumbles through your teeth. And the sound that starts thing is like a light breath of air. At first, everyone was afraid of the thing. But it turned out to be a real swell person. Mr. W bet Mr. H that he could fool H with a magic trick. Mr. W was able to blow H's whistle without using his hands. Mr. H rewarded W with a new sound they would make together. Unfortunately, the deal that W and H made was a noisy one. They woke Mr. S from his nap. Mr. S was interested in a sound, too. One that wasn't as noisy. Mr. S and Mr. H went on to use that new quiet sound that same day on the catching game. They started the word shed and got into a regular starting clue box. Captain Zemo won a nice prize, but fell asleep before they told him what it was.
Yes, the Let People Hall of Fame. It sure brings on some golden blasts from the past. There are 119 stories to be told in Let People Land. Who knows? Maybe more. Someday, these empty displays will be filled with more stories.